Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Today, we have a special guest. It's a little bit different of a flow, but it's so on point on this really important, like crucial part of our expansion. And we're talking about the awakening, the root of healing, and the way that Gail Lynn talks about it, which is really also part of an embodiment practice that we're evolving into. She really brings forward a technology and she has pioneered a frequency healing that really grounds in and I would say shatters a glass ceiling of what's been keeping us in this field that we don't feel why we can break out. And so her approach, her understanding, and how she tunes in and again uses and embraces this technology for our next level of beingness, if you will, is profound. So Gail's going to open up to Q&A. We're going into deep discussion. We're going to talk about this technology. We're going to talk about awakening the root of your healing, and we'll take live Q&A also. So it's going to be a full call. To tell you a little bit more about Gail, because it's the first time she's on BTO. She's the renowned visionary, inventor, and pioneer in the realm of frequency healing. She's celebrated for her groundbreaking creation of the harmonic egg. Some of y'all may be familiar with it. I'm new to it. I'm actually going to have a personal session in Mount Shasta in about a week, which I'm super excited about. Well, we can talk about some of the experiences that Gail has had in it and other people. And there's more that she's bringing in through frequency healing that we all get to benefit from on this call today. She works with a lot of other modalities. I want to save it for her to explain and introduce how it is that she can benefit you and why she's doing what she's doing. So, without further ado, Gail, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for having me. I was really excited about this. As we were talking before the show, my internet went out at my house and I had to drive an hour to my boyfriend's house. So this is the background. Usually I have this really pretty background with my book and so on and so forth. Then I got caught in a hailstorm. I'm like, okay, what is the universe trying to tell us? So been really, really fun. And all I could do is laugh because I thought, here my car's being pelted with hail. I'm on my way to a podcast. And am I not supposed to do this? Or is it something stopping me from communicating this information to your audience? And I sat in the car and just laughed because what else are you going to do?
Oh my God. Well, I'm grateful that you made it, that you're here, and it's all in alignment always. I so trust the fluidity of it. But I have to comment because the technologies that you bring through are really groundbreaking, and it's the consciousness that you hold them in and with, and how you're able to articulate it through different modalities, whether it be through the harmonic egg, through the frequencies of sound healing and music, in other ways. And I have to be honest, if I were to run into the coffee shops, like, wow, amazing energy, she looks super cool. But an inventor, a pioneer creating like these different things, how did that immerse through your consciousness? Tell us some of your story.
Well, it's an interesting story actually, and I think that everybody has this ability. I'm not more special than anyone else.
Hmm.
I grew up, in a blue collar environment in Detroit. I worked in engineering and automotive, and then I knew there was more to life than Henry Ford, and so I moved to Texas from Michigan, and I was in telecom and the Good Old Boys Network, and working with Egypt and different international business. And then I moved over to California and got into Hollywood and I dated Elvis Presley's stepbrother. Like my whole life, truth is stranger than fiction, right? So I think it's hilarious how I watch how the universe, okay, I needed to have some engineering background, I needed to have some international business, and I needed to have some film. And
Hmm.
for the extemporaneous communication and the charisma, and who better to learn that from than someone who knew Elvis, right? So it's like pretty cool. So, after the three challenging careers, two divorces, and I found myself really, really sick. And just how most healers start out, they are sick and they help them, help themselves, and then they get this passion and empathy to help other people. But when I figured out We're vibrational beings of light from source, from God, whatever word you use. Why aren't we healing with sound and light? So that's where this kind of came from.
Mm.
Then I found a sound and light chamber, it was a bit of a light box, and I thought this is really interesting. And so I purchased two of those and opened up a center in the Denver, Colorado area in 2010. And then clients were coming in. I saw 10,000, 20,000 clients in 10 years. It was
Wow.
crazy. Just they were piling in. And that's who I learned from. But I had doctors coming in, I had healers coming in, I had the general public coming in. And everybody that came in was a teacher for me. They were
Mm.
teaching me what is going on in the body, what is the root cause of disease. It's stress, it's inflammation, it's immune system problems, it's fatty liver, and it's um, what's the other one? Um, Heavy metals. And so it
Mm.
seems like everything just boiled down to that. I would say, okay, Parkinson's, heavy metals, or arthritis, inflammation, and then stress causes inflammation. So I started studying all this, and it's not really my background, but my birth chart shows me to be a private investigator, researcher, shaman type person. And this is where it all began when I had a vision of myself being born and something in the room, which wasn't the doctor or my parents, I remember seeing and hearing like they're rubbing their hands together and saying, real with excitement, she's here. What's that about? I don't know what that's it's just me. Ask my sister. She's like, that's just my sister.
Fascinating. So, in you guiding all these different people and refining the technology, what immerses the technology, but also what has immersed through you as far as an awareness of how people can really take back their health and really apply um, not tools that just put Band-Aid or frequencies that put a Band-Aid on something, but really bring um, a really more holistic version of healing that's available.
I've noticed that with sound and light therapies and with that sound and light music and color and vibration, we can connect to our higher self. And when you're connected to your higher self, when your nervous system is in balance and you're connected to your higher self and you're not in that stress, fight, or flight response, your body is magical. Your
Mm.
body can heal. But when you're stuck in like Catherine, what was the lady you just interviewed? Katharina?
Catalina, a
Catalina.
couple days ago, yeah.
Brilliant. If you guys haven't watched that, watch that replay. It's brilliant. She talks about the, energy of shame. And it's such a low vibration. If you're going to live in that place, you're going to attract disease. It's like on a radio station. If shame is country music and you're listening to country music, well, change the station. Get to the
Mm.
frequency of love and gratitude and joy, just like David Hawkins talks about in his work, Power versus Force. Those low vibrations attract disease, they attract illness. So we want to get to the place where we are trusting our body, we're tuned into our higher self, we're living our best lives, we're living in bliss and joy. Of course, we're all going to have a bad day. During that hailstorm, I was like, what am I doing? I went to that low vibration, but then I started chuckling, and the way cars are made today are so cheap that it just hits about that's like sounds like tin. And when
Yeah.
chickpea size ice balls hit in the car, it sounds like it's destroying it, but it's not. So I thought, what am I supposed to learn from this? I'm sitting on the side of the road trying to get shelter under a tree, and what am I supposed to learn from this? I have to laugh because this is just life, and I'm healthy and I'm vibrant and I'm abundant. And that's where the energy we want to be in to live a healthy life. And just know that our bodies are magical and they can heal themselves, but we got to put them in the right environment.
Mm. Well, and what you're speaking about is a vibrational tone that dictates the environment that we choose to reside in. And we're becoming more conscientious that we are actually capable of choosing that environment more so than we ever believed before. And if it's a vibrational state, it's fascinating because you have immersed yourself in the technology of vibrational medicine. And please speak more about that.
Right. So we have so many frequencies or frequency healing, and there's people like Plato and the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Tibetans that have all used sound healing for many, many thousands of years. And so I don't know where we went down the path with the fork in the road where we got away from that. And I can say it's greed, I can say it's big pharma, I can say that it's that. But if you think about it, to me, the woo woo is taking a pill and thinking your body's going to heal at a root level.
Hmm.
That's woo woo. So this is the natural medicine. This is um, this is not the alternative. Theirs is the alternative because they've altered native medicine.
Hmm.
That's the alternative. So we have solfeggio suites. We have scientific evidence that we can find the frequency of a kidney stone, hit it with an exact opposite frequency, and blow it up,
Hmm.
neutralize it from the body. We have scientific evidence. Cancer cells, we can hit them with an exact opposite frequency and blow them up. They dissolve. But there is no one size fits all. Just like Royal Rife would stain cells and use the universal microscope, each client, each patient, each person is an individual. So you have to find the frequency of their illness. So if I had something in my body, it's going to be different if you had the same exact thing, John,
Hmm.
because your body's a different frequency. So you got to find that frequency. You got to find what works for you. You got to find and be discerning about your body and what your body needs. So you have the Solfeggio suite. That came out a while back, 396, 528 hertz. And they say that 528 hertz is the frequency of love and what heals the DNA. But what I've studied is that the planet now has raised her vibration. So we automatically are raising our vibration. And if you're into this kind of work and you're listening to this podcast, you might be vibrating at 6, 7, 800 hertz already. So does 528 bring you down? We don't know.
Hmm.
So I work with the waveforms of instruments and I say, okay, so the waveform of the piano kind of looks like a little bit like an EKG. And I've noticed that it helps to reset and balance the nervous system. The flute is a very simple sine wave, and it seems to be working with the liver. So I've been trying to figure out how do I work within the waveforms of the instruments and the colors so that I can help people to reset, rebalance, and use that innate ability for their bodies to heal themselves.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how I'm using vibrational medicine. I like that Edgar Casey says bring together sound and light for a modality for the future, which he said in the 40s.
Hmm.
And I thought, let's bring it together in a chamber that is the shape of an egg, which is where life comes from. And let's bring it together with wave, the WAV files, that's what they call wave or WAV files. MP3 files are a little bit interesting because they're compressed. So if you
Hmm.
have this beautiful sine wave and then you cut off the top and you cut off the bottom and you compress it, you're losing some of the integrity of the music. So we don't use the MP3 files. And then if you're looking at everything being energy, who are these musicians? Who are you listening to? Do they have a heart issue? Are they angry? Just like we know with food, if you sometimes you go to a restaurant and it's really good one day and you go the next day and it's not the same.
Hmm.
Could it be that the cook was a little bit angry and you ate that anger and it just didn't taste the same?
Hmm.
So everything's energy, and we have to start thinking about, is this my energy or is this someone else's energy I picked up, and be more discerning.
Right. I love that you share that, and again with the vibrational healing and the awareness of the energy. I think a big differentiator in how we receive the benefits of that technology has a lot to do with our individual emotional landscape as well. I think that is the crucible of what's really the effectiveness, because if we're bypassing the emotional component of it, then we're just creating a cesspool for the reoccurrence of the illness as well. And so
Yes.
I'd love it for you to speak more about that, please.
So there's so many people right now. I don't know if you remember the days. I think we're about the same age. I'm 55. I think maybe you're a little younger. I don't remember. We
A little
talked.
older, yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
So, well, you look great. So, you remember the days of the seminar junkies?
Of
People would go from
course.
Tony Robbins to Tia Harvecker to the Chicken Soup for the Soul to, and
The
they
the
were
one night stands is what I call them.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I had a friend. His name was Roger Anthony. He's rest in peace. He said that these people retain about 25% of it, and about a week later, they have like 5% of it, and maybe a month or a year later, they forgot everything.
Mhm.
And so when I got into this, I thought I need to teach and educate about integration.
Mm,
Have to integrate this. So you have an amazing session. So like with the hailstorm, I'm gonna go back to the hailstorm because that happened to me today. My sister sent me YouTube, reasons for a hailstorm in your emotional life and spiritual life. I'm gonna go embody that because there was a lesson for me there,
mm,
but if I just drive home and forget all about it, then what lesson did I learn? I didn't integrate that. I didn't really embody that. And so, even when you have an animal cross your path, look it up. What's the spiritual meaning? What is that message from the universe? What is that message that you need to embody? And if you're going to do energy work, I have people saying, okay, well, I did acupuncture yesterday. I'm doing massage and chiropractic today. Tomorrow, I'm going to do Reiki. You're not allowing yourself to process through the emotions that are coming up at a cellular level to release.
mm.
And I feel like a lot of people are walking around really angry because all this stuff is coming up, but they're not processing it. They're not integrating it.
I
And
agree.
the analogy I give is, would you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner all at 8 o'clock in the morning? No, you would not. You
Mm,
let it digest and then you eat again. You let it digest and you eat again. Energy work is the same. You have to let it integrate or digest and then hit it with something else. So, what has happened with me is I was a very judgmental, critical, angry person. When I started doing sound and light, I realized that my liver stopped hurting. It was always just in my right side. I was just angry all the time. My mom was very critical, very judgmental. So when just recently did a documentary, um, the first screen that you see, judgment is the only thing that separates us.
mm,
And it's in black and white. It's supposed to be very powerful. I hope people pause and really think about that because judgment is the only thing that separates
I
us.
agree 100%.
So if we just not judge each other and we say, you know what, that's so cute that's where you are on your path. And maybe that person's looking at you and being, that's so cute. That's where she is on her path.
Mhm,
And just respect each other. And if we could be more in community and less judgment, that no one can separate us. No one can put us in fear because we know we got each other's backs. We're
mhm,
all one by the divine, and we all need to start supporting each other. And
mm.
so, this is just really what my intuition is better. Manifestation is super easy now because the veil is clear. Sound and light can help your cellular memory to heal from trauma. You're not carrying around that baggage and you can really just live in the moment instead of being a human doing, you're a human being. And yes, I fail on a daily basis, but I can pick myself back up within seconds now. I'm like, oh, I'm now living for the future or the past. I got to start being. So
Mm,
today was just super stressful, no internet, yada, yada. I went and did yoga, which I do 3 times a day, brought myself back to my breath, back to my body. I could feel the collar on my neck where my shirt was when I was doing
mhm,
my twists and my yoga, and then listening to what's going on outside of my window. You can hear the birds. You can't not be present when you're listening to your surroundings and you're feeling what your body's feeling like, then you're present.
It's amazing what comes through in that presence. And there's an uptick that is organic that happens in that stillness. It's like we attune into a higher vibrational state rather than into distortion. Um, And again, the clarity comes through. There's a lot that is available in that space.
Yeah. In silence. I tell people, sit in silence, because I know that the egg was downloaded when I was in the shower or driving or just waking up in the morning when you're in that hypnagogic state before your brain grabs your phone and starts thinking about all the things you got to do during the day. That's when the magic is happening. That's when you're getting these downloads, you're getting all this information. You can ask any question, and the universe, because the veil is so thin, the universe is there to present any answers that you need. All the answers are there.
Mm,
So somebody said to me one time, what about if they start burning all our books? I'm like, we're getting to the point, we're just tuned into the universe. All that information is there. We don't need the books. We're good.
mm,
We can just tune in and grab it.
mm. That's when the universe speaks to us in words that don't exist yet.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, oh, hold
yeah,
on a second. It's that awe and that wonder that comes through, and it's absolutely just inspiring and
absolutely.
alive,
Yeah,
what comes through. So I want to ask you, it's part of the special offer are these amazing tracks that have been put together. What was your experience in creating these tracks? And we'll get directly into the packages of special offers in a little bit, but what inspired you to put all this together? And once you did, how did you figure out that they actually work?
right. So when I started creating, now, are we talking about the package that we created for your audience? I'm seeing all this
Yes.
chat coming in. I mean, people are asking questions. We can't get to all of them, but I know
No, we're going to get
paying
to
attention.
questions in a little bit.
You're paying
We're
attention.
getting there. Yeah.
So the package that I created, I wanted to share the consciously created music. I'm not a musician, but I understand energy. So I started hiring musicians with high heart energy, high vibration. And if a musician comes to me and says, "Hey, Gail, my cat died today," you stop everything. You do not
Mm,
work on this music, because we don't want that grief in the piece of music. If you're having a bad day, and I tell all of them, do not work on the music. So, waveforms of instruments, but the other key is the tone or the key that they're created in.
mm,
So if you're looking at F or F sharp, the heart chakra, you look at the crown chakra being A sharp or B. So each tone has a different chakra that brings it into balance. And if you do a voice analysis, it's beautiful because your voice should have all the tones.
mm,
If your voice doesn't have all the tones, you could be missing a mineral. You could have emotional and physical correlates that are happening to the body. So I wanted to create a package for the audience, and I have to have notes on this because I have my little notes here. So I thought stress is the number one killer. So let's do the piece stress less. We
mm,
have reduce inflammation, because stress causes inflammation. And we all have a lot of stress in our lives right now. We need to get some relaxation, get some anxiety out of there. And then love. We need more love. So I included the frequency of love. And the frequency of love is one of my favorite pieces. We had 30 people in 18 languages record saying, "I love you." And we took that vibration of all those recordings of all those different
yeah.
languages, and we put it into the piece with whales and dolphins, and all the nature sounds, and the pieces of music I create are natural, because we can't synthesize when a bird's going to take a breath. In that breath, in that silence, that's when the healing happens. And
Mm,
if you're synthesizing waves, you don't know when the Pacific Ocean's going to hit a wave. You don't know. It might be a short wave, it might be a long wave. So this is all recorded nature sounds live and not synthesized. So it's beautiful. So the frequency of love, we even said to these 30 people, when you say "I love you," think about a place or a fur baby, not your ex-wife, not your ex-partner, but something that is true love, and
mm,
say, "I love you." And that's recorded in there. Then we have Eternal Souls. It's such a beautiful piece of music created by a musician in Canada. It was created on a full moon.
mm,
It was created, and the sound equipment was left in the forest. So you got the tree energy, you got the full moon energy, you got the nighttime energy in that piece. Brilliant. And then we have peace, protection, and freedom, which is mantra piece, beautiful mantras from a girl that is one of our egg owners. Her voice is angelic without anything. She can sing and it sounds like she's got a full orchestra around her and she's got
Mm.
nothing. It's beautiful. And mantras, that we have each one of these pieces that we created for your audience in a different tone. So that piece is in the key of F, heart chakra. And then we have When Nature Sings. That is a piece that was near and dear to my heart that I wanted to share with
Mm.
the audience because I feel like it's about hydrating the body. But not only that, helping to hydrate the land. Because what if we're dehydrated because our land is dehydrated? The microbes on the land are dehydrated. So I wanted to put that piece in there. Anytime that's played, that piece of land that's being played on is going to get hydrated, as well as the person listening to it. Very magical pieces of music. And then we included my first book, Unlocking the Ancient Secrets to Healing, so that you can get the efficacy of what sound and light does. There's 90 references and science-backed references that sound and light work. They absolutely work. And then there's some appendices where you can learn about different colors and what they do for the body. You can do this at home. So I was really excited to create this package. I'm so happy
Mm.
that you asked me to create it. And so that's why I created this package. Beautiful.
Amazing material. Yeah, y'all, I didn't give you the links. Most of y'all know where to find the links for the special offer, but the link is in the chat box. And of course, the special offer button right underneath the video where you're watching the call from. And as always, I hope y'all don't get tired of me mentioning, but I have to for new people. You can always find the special offers at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. So, yeah, this is created for us. It's at a discount compared to what's offered on Gail's site. It's a very generous offer at $97 with a two payment option. And Gail, what are some of before afters that you've noticed with people who've participated with these with this technology?
I can go on forever. You guys have captured a couple of our testimonials. So if you go to the link for the offer at the very bottom, you've got some beautiful testimonials.
Mm.
My assistant sent me like 30 testimonials. She's like, which ones do you want to use? Because I said, find some around stress and anxiety and pain, and we have thousands of them. So
Mm.
one of the ones near and dear to my heart is a lady had her son committed suicide and she was going to follow him. After she did an egg session, she said, "You know what? I didn't commit suicide. I knew that my son was there with me and I didn't want to commit suicide." Had another lady that was kind of committed and she couldn't take care of her kids anymore from a mental health problem. After a few egg sessions and using the sound and light, because people actually find out what song selection they were on in the egg and then they purchase that and take it home with them, and they can continue to listen to it to anchor in that session. So it's really beautiful. So you don't have to go into the egg to get this healing music. Each piece of music comes with song notes. So it'll tell you what tone it's created in, what colors are associated with it, what chakras will it invoke, and how it will help the body. And I usually put some notes from the musician about what they were, thinking and doing during the time of recording. So it's really, really beautiful. We've had anywhere from people sleeping better, Parkinson's, where I think Parkinson's is a lot of heavy metals where it passes through the blood-brain barrier, and you'll have them shaking, and then after listening to the music and being in the or being in the egg, people are even telling me they're smelling metals. They'll smell their skin and they're smelling
Wow.
heavy metals. And we will smell that in the room as well. So it's very powerful, but it's not the magical end all be all. Your body's the magic. That's where the
Mhm.
magic is. That's putting the body into a place of balance, and then your body can heal itself. Because when you are stuck in flight or flight and you're being chased by the saber-toothed tiger or the bear or your boss or your partner, whatever that stress is, when you're in balance, the body can be like, and it can heal itself.
Mhm.
We're just helping you get there.
That's fantastic. And there is a technology to it. There's a cohesive tone that exists in our natural world that when we learn how to access it and holding in a particular vibrational field, we harmonize with it.
Yeah. We have
It's,
limiting beliefs. I mean, our
yeah.
limiting beliefs are such that Even me, when I first started doing sound and light, I'm like, how can I be listening to music and seeing some color and my body's healing? For
Mm,
me, it got rid of my migraines, it got rid of my cystic acne, my hair was falling out. I didn't realize I had
wow.
heavy metal toxic load from soldering in automotive. I had cadmium, thallium, I had the heavy metals in my mouth. I had nickel,
Mm,
lead, mercury, tin. I had so much stuff going on, and I had the liver issues. I had they wanted to do a hysterectomy on me, which I found out I had like Lyme disease. So as soon as I got that under control, the heavy periods stopped. And so
mm,
I never needed the hysterectomy. I was starting to have thyroid problems. Probably it was from not having a voice emotionally. So I was able to really tune into my body, and I'm healthier and feel better than I've ever felt.
mm.
Amazing how much our bodies, being vibrational beings, can heal with vibration.
Yeah. So a couple of questions for you regarding the technology. First, you said that there's ways that we can measure the notes that we're holding within our body so that we can see if something's out of balance. How do we do that?
Okay, so you want to get a voice analysis. My mentor is Ani Williams, ANI Williams. That's where you want to go to find out how to get a voice analysis. You can get it, you can load a digital tuner on your phone, but there's keys to this. There's a lot of people who are doing voice analysis, and I'm not saying they don't work, but they'll say, just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we're going to tell you what's missing in your voice. I don't think it can work that way because
Mm,
we're emotional beings and we hold on to emotions. I think what we need to do is talk about our childhood and
mhm,
look at the digital tuner. You say your mom, and all of a sudden you're missing the F sharp because your mom didn't give you enough love. And we want to talk about maybe physical pains in our body. So Ani to me really has it, she has it dialed in. So if you give your pain an audible voice, so sometimes people will say, what does that pain feel like? And you just give this ugh kind of a, emotion. Then you say to the person, okay, now tell me what it would feel like if you didn't have to deal with that pain anymore. And you
mm,
kind of sing. It's like, ah, that's where the missing tone is. Because
mm.
your head just said, what if I never had this pain? It shows the missing tone that's creating that pain. It is
Wow.
brilliant.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when you're in the egg, you can replenish these tones with the music. And that's why the pieces of music that your audience will get will have G, will have F, will have D, will have A sharp. And so they're going to be able to listen to these, and that'll help replenish the tones. But
Mm.
when you find out what tone is missing, you can use music. But I don't know if you know what a pitch pipe is.
Explain it.
Okay, so a pitch pipe is what musicians use to like tone. So if they want to do something in C sharp, they can blow into the pitch pipe and it'll be whoo,
Mm,
And so each different piece of music will replenish a tone, but you can also use a pitch pipe, and maybe every day you can tone C, then C sharp, then D sharp, and you just keep moving the little dial onto that tone. And when you put your fingertips on it and put it up to your lips, you're replenishing that tone as you blow into that pitch pipe. It's really cool, super cheap
wow.
way to replenish your tones.
Wow. That's amazing. And if I'm going into a session, I have one of these tracks that I'm playing. Is it beneficial if I wear the color, have a crystal of the color, submerge myself in the particular? Can I amplify what's being presented through the sound? And if I can, how can I do that?
So we've found with the technology, you don't need anything. Just go in there and you want to have no expectations. You go in there and you be the observer. So you're
Mm.
observing
Yes.
things. As soon as you identify with something, you're like, oh, that's me. It goes away.
You shut down the
Oh,
field.
that's
Yeah.
how a waterfall goes away. So you be the
Hmm.
observer and don't have any expectations. Sit there, feel the clothes on your body, listen to the sounds immersed around you. When you're using the pieces of music, like say Stress Less, it will have a color associated with it. So you may listen to that for a day, 3 days, a week, and then you can eat the colors of the
Hmm.
rainbow that are in that piece, or you can wear, I'm wearing my blue to today's blue and silver day. Thursdays is a blue and silver day, so Jupiter and the moon. So I try to dress for the planets, so I have blue jeans on and I have silver on today, so you can wear those colors You can eat those colors. You can surround yourself with those colors. Sometimes people will buy the silk scarves. They'll put light bulbs in their lamps for the colors that they're using. And I always tell people be careful when it's a red or an orange day because those are very stimulating colors. Red can increase blood pressure, where blue brings blood pressure down. So you want to also know what the colors do and you want to study the colors. So it's really cool. I love blues, purples, greens. My whole house is surrounded with those colors because I'm high stress. I'm running an international business. I'm supporting over 150 center owners. Plus, I still have a life and a horse and cats and a boyfriend and a house. And, so me, blues, purples,
Mhm.
greens, that's my colors.
How many centers are you supporting?
Over 150.
Wow. And
Yeah,
counting more.
14 countries. Yeah, 14 countries. It's crazy. We're not a franchise, but we're a business model where we're supporting each other. We have a private Facebook group. It's peer to peer. We have this cooperative business model. We all support each other. It's really beautiful. I hope that in the age of Aquarius, we start to see more of these businesses taking that top level. Here's the person, and everybody else is just kind of following, underneath. If we can just
Mhm.
level that out so that we can all have abundance and we can be in cooperation, I think we'll have a much better world.
I agree with you. That's amazing. Um, I want to get into some Q&A that's coming in, Gail. If y'all have questions, raise your hand and definitely keep typing them into the chat box. We'll start addressing some of the questions here. Um, yeah, let's go ahead. Linda, we've got you on the video call first. Let's get you on here. Welcome.
Gail, I just love light and sound. It is one of my favoriteest things in the whole wide world, and frequencies is amazing. I want to know with your 150 centers that you have, are all of them have the harmonic eggs?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
Okay. And how did that start? And are then when you get the person's voice, then you put them into the harmonic egg and adjust it? Is that it?
So a voice analysis isn't a prerequisite for an egg session. You can do that
Okay.
separately and you can come into the center and say, I know these are my missing tones, but it's
Okay.
not a prerequisite for an egg session. So you don't need to know that going into the session, but the egg will be using tones to replenish your body and kind of tune into your body. There's an egg energy and there's the human energy, and they kind of meld together in a beautiful egg womb place. And so, yes. And I think you said, how did that start? I'll just say that I built one for
Yes.
myself. I built an egg for myself because I thought it would be cool. And
Great.
somebody came in from South Dakota and said, can I buy one of those? And I said, I don't know. I guess so. And that was 2017. This came through in 2016, 2017,
Okay.
and now they're they're in 14 countries. I don't even know how it happened. It's word of mouth.
Mhm.
I think that the people that resonate with this have found it. Everybody that I hear from, they say, "Oh, the egg found me."
Oh. Okay, so and inside of the egg then is all the frequencies or all of the tones?
It's not all the tones because it's different pieces of music have different tones. If you had all the tones in one piece of music, it'd probably be a little chaotic. So the
Right, right. I
tones are
understand that.
different
Yeah.
for each piece. And so your
Okay.
body is going to pick up what it needs. I always say you get what you need from the egg, not always what you want.
Mm.
Oh,
And
okay. Well,
again,
thank you.
and again, we have the healing
Yes,
frequency,
John?
the music, and the sound that are part of the special offer that are like the ingredients for the healing that go into the egg. So it's like the little prescription that's happening is the way that I like to describe it. And please correct me, Gail.
No, I call it a musical prescription. So you're spot on.
Perfect, perfect. All right,
Do
Linda.
you deal with the emotions first?
So the emotions are usually what comes up first because
Sorry,
that
John.
you have the emotional body and then you have the universal body, da 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 da. But it gets to the physical body last. So once it gets to the physical body, you know that it's gone through all those other universal bodies and the emotions have been suppressed. And then it harbors in the body because you've suppressed it. That's why it gets to the physical because you didn't process it.
Well, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
really love this point of the hierarchy down into the body last. And Linda, thank you so much. It's wonderful to see you. Because
Thank you, John.
isn't that what we're doing with our consciousness and our spiritual communities and how we're guiding? We've been reaching out and up for integration and for balance and for our harmonic tone intelligence that we've had access to, but it's been suppressed. And our body is the last one to assimilate, to bring it in, to bring it into our grounded state, but to also allow us to experience in human form for that balance of harmony to come in through us. So for me, it's this path of awakening and ascension
Yeah.
that we've been navigating for many of us decades.
And a lot of us are, I say that there was a lot of children trapped in adult bodies because you get
Mm.
paralyzed at 14 years old because your parents got divorced, or at 6 years old because your brother stole something from you, or as Julie Ryan says, someone called you a poopy head when you were 3 and you never got past that. And
Mm.
so if somebody called me a poopy head today, I was like, you're so cute. But if I was 3 years old, someone called me that, I'm going to process that a different way.
Yeah.
So we have to process through that, and we have to embrace that little child, and we have to find where that happened. If something happens to you, triggers are treasures.
Mm.
Go back and say, when was the last time I felt this emotion? Because it was really ridiculous that I got so upset about such and such and such and such. Oh, I remember when I was 8, I felt like this. And then you can process through and bring yourself back up to that adult. And then you can love that 8-year-old who didn't trust the adult and bring that back, because so many people I'm seeing, they're just anger. And sometimes I'll walk around the store, I'm like 11, 8, 9, 6, 5, and then you can feel the energy where they were stuck. And it's a
I
thing.
noticed that within myself.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I was like, that's my 12-year-old self. That was
Totally.
messed up.
Like,
Yeah.
why? It's like, hello. Um, oh my God, so interesting. So, what do you feel are core factors that really allow us to integrate all of this processing that we've been doing?
So can you say that a different way? What are you
What's
asking?
going to help us with the integration that's really required for what we're seeking in that balance and wholeness?
So I think sitting in silence, not multitasking, that is not going to help anybody. Um, we really need to sit with ourselves during the day, really tune into what has happened to us, look at those triggers, and start processing through those those triggers. I mean, basically saying what we were just talking about. Oh my gosh, that sounded like a 12-year-old kid. Well, when I was 12, what happened? And then love that 12-year-old, love that experience, sit in silence with it, sit with it, process it, cry about it. If you need to cry about it, crying is not weakness. Crying is a strength, in my opinion. And a
Hmm.
lot of, unfortunately, boys, men, males were told, you can't cry, don't cry, you're weak, that's terrible. But it's a strength. It's how we process. And it
Mm.
also helps to our cortisol levels and belly fat too, which is great. So I cry just so I don't have a big belly, So we got to
Well,
just sit in silence and process it. We have to do the work. No one's going to do it for you.
yeah. It's again, it's a harmonic tone that we're assimilating into. Paramahansa Yogananda speaks of meditating like the masters. And he speaks of the Christ in meditation. And when he dropped the meditation, he wasn't trying to get anywhere. He wasn't even trying to get to silence. Where he was in such profound love of God that that's the only place he needed to go. His mastery was in reverence to that love.
Yeah.
That was his meditation. And if you can hold that harmonic consistently in the meditation, that love frequency, that is, it's, but that profound love, you spoke about it earlier, that like unconditional, pure, just nothing is wavering in that love. What rises through us is awe-inspiring.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mm.
100%. I've been in a 12-year relationship, and we were talking about it the other day. We've had one argument. He said, I've been mad at you one time. And he said, I don't even remember what it was. Okay, that is a mature to me, like my
Mm,
last two marriages weren't that way. It was just fighting and bickering and arguing. And I meet people that fight and bicker and argue, and it feels like it's their child, they're, the 8-year-old's fighting with the 8-year-old, or the 12-year-old's fighting with the 10-year-old, or whatever. And so when we can live with no judgment, know each other's hearts, and stay in a place of love, you can have these relationships that are so beautiful and
mm,
so supportive. I feel like I'm this goddess that he just holds up for me to be the goddess that I am and to accomplish what I need to accomplish. And I support him in what he needs to do in his journey.
mm,
And sometimes we talk about things and I'm like, oh, that's so cute. He thinks that. And I'm sure he says the same thing about me.
right. That's amazing. And it's funny. The Ascended Masters are coming through today for me, because as you speak of this, also, I'm taken to the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. Excuse me. Um, Let me not so much seek to be loved than to love. Let me so much not seek to be forgiven, but to forgive. And to hold that in awareness in a stable field, everything that we seek, let us be that which we seek, and we'll get to experience the beingness and the creation of it through us. It's amazing.
I love it. I love it. It's so beautiful. I see somebody, I'm kind of scrolling through the chats,
Yeah,
but
I figured you were. I saw you.
we have habits of talking ourselves out of our greatness. And I just want to comment on that. That is so
Mhm.
true. I mean, I do it every day and I think I'm small. I'm not small. And I think, well, what I'm doing, is it really making a difference? Yes, it is. We can do our passions. We can all have our greatness and we can all live in abundance. I think money is energy, and we just need to figure out how to exchange that energy with each other. I think we can all have abundance. It's not unattainable. It's not unachievable. Um, the higher my vibration gets, the more I manifest, and things are just easy now. I can float through life and
Mhm.
things are easy. It's amazing, and we can all get there.
There's like this crossing point also where X kind of marks the spot right in the middle. And that's the threshold of where we're dipping down into lower frequencies that weren't serving us and where we're rising also. And it's like we're at that middle point where we're actually rising and we're experiencing the crossroads of both. And it's not that we shut ourselves down to greatness, but there's a shift that's happening. And I believe what we are stepping into is that we have to call forward and stand up for the greatness that we are. It's a shift in perception. Stand up for the greatness that you are. Hold it with that reverence. Hold it in its majesty. Acknowledge what it is. Because this other thing, it's a persona that is not you. It's what's been taught to us through other people's self-imposed limitations that were taught to them that they took on as self-imposed limitations. And it's a subtle shift. Not that we don't hold ourselves in our greatness or that we denounce it, but really, when are we going to choose to finally stand up for it?
Yeah. So I wrote this question down yesterday, and I didn't think I was going to bring it up on the call, but I will. And I wrote, whose reality are you living in?
Hmm.
And I
Here
wrote
you
it
go.
down because I felt like I kept grabbing some of my other uh, associates' energy, their
Mhm.
fear, their anger. It's not my energy. And I was like, I'm living in their reality, not my reality. And so I want to say, whose reality are you living in?
And this tech, you find that the harmonics that you're inviting people into through the music, I'll call it the symphony, through the incubation that's available through the egg, and in sharing in the way that you are carrying it as embodied by facilitating that technology and being immersed in it and choosing to keep expanding from it, there's a profound shift that's available, that's happening. There's this transmutation that happens just by being in the environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And
that brings, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna, and that brings me to Catherine's question. She says I actually live in a building where there's a harmonic egg on the ground floor, and
What?
I feel like it helps me just by being in the proximity of it. And she wanted to know if you had any awareness about the location where the egg is located and how it may impact those around them.
Yes, I do, and it's amazing, and it blows my mind because I've had people drive to my house. I have one in my house, and they're friends or old clients, and they're saying, you don't even need to give me the directions. I can feel it, and I can navigate to it. It
Mm,
feels like it goes out a mile or more. I know that it's helping to heal the land. I know that they're connected to each other. So when one is in Peru and one is in North
mm,
Carolina, they're connected. There's if the North Carolina one has dragon energy, then the Peru one has dragon energy because they're connected. I've had people tell me, like the plants in my house, they're crazy. The plants grow out of control because I have an egg in my house. And I've noticed that they bloom. I've seen, plants bloom that I've never seen bloom before. And I have people who have egg locations where they put plants in the room and it's dark because we want the room to be dark. And the plants are flourishing in the dark. I know not all plants probably will, but some do. And they're showing me these plants. I'm thinking, there's no light in that room. How is this even happening? So we've had center owners check the EMFs, and there's no EMFs. It's like a Faraday cage. We've had center owners put water in there and serve the water to their clients after, just to recharge the water. I've put seeds from my garden in there, and the plants seem to do better after they've been in the egg. I put my horse, my horse's picture, I'll put in the egg, and it helps her. I can see her calm down. It's crazy. I can't say that I exactly know what this galactic conscious technology is or does completely. It blows my mind on a daily basis. I just brought it through. It's not from me, it's through me that it came. And I think it's absolutely brilliant, but I'm seeing the effects of the land. And
mm.
yes, if you live in a place where there's an egg, please drink a lot of water because you will be detoxing because it's not just contained in the egg. And so I tell center owners when they put it in their home or people who just buy it for their home, I tell them make sure you drink a lot of water because you will constantly detox. Now, we had a really interesting, we just did an install in Broomfield, Colorado, and my whole team was sweating. It was not hot in there. And we're all sweating profusely. And then I had diarrhea, not really like I had a couple bowel movements for the next few days. I left before it was assembled, John. I left when the pieces were still in the room. So tell me what is happening that I was detoxing and we were all detoxing with the pieces of the egg in the room because
The
it's,
land was detoxing.
yeah, and the intention. Okay, so just you know how you have those pictures where they cut a leaf off, but then you take a Kerkerian photography and the leaf is all the way there. Like the egg showed up and it was already assembled in the ether in the spirit world, and we're all detoxing.
Wow.
They're getting more and more powerful as more of them come onto the planet and connect to each other. And so the music has to change usually. Every year we test all the music to make sure it's 80% or more resonant with that egg. Otherwise, we pull that one and we make more music. It's crazy fun. I'm having a blast.
Is it, huh? So before I go into Mount Shasta and have
Yeah.
my session for the Lions Gate portal, um, can I begin to amplify it with the music and start getting into like start building up a momentum for what's possible there?
Yes, you can start listening to the music and start to anchor in the energy of the egg because all the music has the energy of the egg. It's for the egg. It was designed with the intention of the egg. So, yes, you can absolutely do that.
And y'all, you do not need the egg to get the benefits
Right.
from the music. It's just it's again, it's a harmonic, it's harmonic frequency healing. And it heals in so many different ways. This is extraordinary.
Crazy. It's
Um,
crazy. Like I can't even believe. I mean, there's so many modalities coming out. So I'm really excited. I go to spas all the time and look at the different modalities and I see if I resonate with them. And I vibrate so high, just like a lot of your audience will. So some of them I'm like, no, I don't need that. It's going to bring me down.
mm.
So we got to be discerning. We got to figure this out. But I'm really excited that we're now seeing these non-invasive modalities. We're going to see, med spas with frequency medicine. I'm just elated. I mean, Edgar Casey would be so thrilled, and Royal Rife and Wilhelm Reich and Nikola Tesla and Albert Einstein, they'd be elated. And we can
Mm.
go back further to Plato and Pythagoras and all those guys too.
Amazing, amazing what's coming through. So we have a question for Paula. She's asking if these sessions would help someone with MSA, multiple system atrophy, which is a rare type of Parkinson's. Also, what if they don't believe in sound healing and energy? It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I believe, because I had a client one time and he had his church, he had Parkinson's and he couldn't take a heel to toe step. So he would shuffle his feet and he had a cane. So he came to the egg and he said, you know what? Can I just read a book in here? Because this is so stupid. I don't even believe in it, but my church sent me. So I'm here. So whatever, do whatever. And I said, no, you can't read a book. Stop being a jerk. Get in there. Just
Mm,
enjoy it. And, your church loves you. So just go in there and get some benefit. He came out. I didn't know about the heel to toe step. I didn't know this. So he came out, took a heel to toe step, started crying. And I'm just looking at him like, why is this guy crying? And so I said,
mm,
"Are you okay?" And he said, "I just took a heel to toe step that I hadn't taken in years." And he became the biggest believer as a non-believer. So I
wow.
don't think you have to believe in it for it to work because of that example. So I think that the body doesn't know disease by name. I think most of it, what we experience is emotional because we've, some emotion, left side of the body, feminine, right side of the body, masculine. I have some neck issues right now because there's some things I am not wanting to turn my head to see. So that's what the reason for the neck. And I'm having some blurry vision because there's things in the world that I'm not liking that I'm seeing. So
Mm,
I know what I got to do to fix this, and I will fix it. But you got to recognize it first. So where your awareness goes, energy flows. So I
mm,
believe that the body doesn't know disease by name, and we can heal from anything, but we've been hoodwinked into believing that we can't. So we just have to take our magic back, empower ourselves, take our greatness back, whatever words you want to use. And we really need to know that the body doesn't know disease by name.
I really appreciate that. I'm curious. So this particular person was able to take that step. They started crying. Does he need repeated sessions to maintain the capacity that he just regained?
So he did sessions because once we talked about it was in the universal body, the, emotional body. I won't go through all the bodies. Then it gets to the physical body. So when you want to unwind that and reset the nervous system and retrain the nervous system, it's not a one and done, not
Hmm.
a magic pill. So you want to make sure that you are maybe doing them once a week for about 10 sessions. If it's something chronic, you might do once a week for 3 sessions if it's not so chronic. When you're done, it's the level of wellness you wish to achieve. You might be done after 3 sessions. You might be done after 6. You might go once a month for maintenance. You might do it once a year. You might do it, once and you think there's some stuff coming up I'm not ready to deal with yet, so I'm never going back. I don't know. And there's no one size fits all.
Yeah. Well, and I think this also brings us back to the very important topic of conversation of integration. We can receive a benefit of something, but unless we're really integrating and having a relationship what it is that we want to build relationship with, it's like any relationship where you don't put attention to it, it's going to choose to go somewhere else. It's going to flow into somewhere that is in resonance
Yeah.
where it wants to create more of the harmonic and that love frequency.
I had a client that, hopefully she doesn't listen to this, about 300 sessions, and I
Wow.
kept trying to fire her. And I said, I'm not helping you. I don't want you to come back. I'm not helping you. And I really had to tune into what was going on, but I feel like her illness is what she wanted. Let's see, how do I say this? I think she thought that if she healed, her husband would leave her. So she would always go try. So she would say, "Look, husband, I'm trying to heal." But I feel like if she believed in her subconscious, if she healed, her husband would leave her. So she didn't want to heal, but she's told me it helped her. And I was like, I feel it bad taking your money and wasting my time because you're not getting better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is really helping me. It's really helping me. And so there's people like that that are somewhat identified with their illness And there's probably, I think I've noticed about 5% of the population. That is their identity. I had a lady with, everything that happened to her, it hit her in the head. Mirror falls off the wall, hits her in the head. She falls down, she hits her head. Car accident, the trunk came off. It was an old car, and the trunk came off, hit her in the head. Everything hit her in the head. So
Mm.
she was a psychologist, and she had a brain injury. So when she came to the egg, she said, I can feel the neurotransmitters healing, so I won't be back. I said, did you just say you're feeling your healing, but you won't be back? And she said, oh, yes. She's like, love, I don't know who I'd be without my brain injury. And she never came back.
Wow. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's going to
We
happen.
choose the environment that we want to create in.
Yeah.
And we're becoming more consciously aware that we are empowered to choose that, especially in a Western world when we have so many liberties and so much abundance to create from. Even those of us who feel like we're extremely limited in our resources have an abundance that others haven't had in the history of this world.
Yeah.
It's profound.
I know. And I had a profound experience not, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I had a psychic tell me, she said, Gail, you're going to struggle financially for 20 more years. And guess what? I did.
Mm,
Did I struggle financially because she told me? Or was I destined to struggle financially? I don't know the answer, but she put it into my subconscious. And I did struggle financially for 20 more years. And I cried when she told me that because I didn't have two dimes to rub together at that moment. And I thought, I got to do this for another 20 years? Like, really?
mm,
So I think there's a lot of irresponsible healers out there. We have free will. And when somebody would approach, a lady was dying, and I knew she was dying, and the medical intuitive told me she was dying, and she said, what did the medical intuitive say? I said, he told me to tell you, take a break from the healing that you're doing and go see your grandkids.
mm.
Who am I to tell her? He said you're gonna be dead in 10 days, which she was. He said 14, it was 10. um I'm not gonna tell her that.
Right.
Because we have free will. And I think a lot of these people will be out there with their ego and telling you, oh, yeah, you have 6 years to live. Then they live 6 years. Is it because they were going to live 6 years, or because someone told them that and it got stuck in their subconscious? So I have
Mhm.
real issues with the healers being irresponsible. And, that's why the modality that I've created is a consistent and repeatable device. You don't want me working on you. I have days where I'm judgmental. I'm a human. I have days when I'm angry, and I don't want to be working on somebody and putting my anger into them. So
Mhm.
we have to really be, discerning with our body, discerning with our healers, and we have to tune into our energy to know when you leave a healer and you're angry, is it yours, or did you
Mm,
pick it up from them?
mhm. That's a great point. And I really appreciate the fact that you brought up these psychic readings and these other things where the impression is left to cause a ripple in the field. And I learned my lesson with that probably a good 25 years ago. Psychic reader told me I was going to meet this person that was going to be wearing this, going to be driving a white Lexus and this other things. And I kept looking for the outfit and for the white Lexus and for this thing for like months. And I just finally stopped. It's like, you know what? No,
Yeah.
no, this has hijacked my perception of possibilities.
And what did you miss while you were looking?
Exactly. That's what I
Yes.
meant. It hijacked my
Right.
perception of possibilities.
Yep.
What did I miss in being so myopic, saying that that was going to be the answer to something that my ego needed fulfilled.
Yeah.
And so letting go of that and always with beautiful discernment, but not giving somebody else so much authority that they can dictate my life for me. And it's not even that it's even intended that way. But it's, I have enough of a track record, and many of us have in different experiences with people who have projected that certain things were going to happen at a certain time, or markets are going to go up and down, or that this cataclysm was going to happen, or these aliens were going to land in this particular day, and they claim it with such authority. It never happens, and they never come back and say, "Hey, I got it wrong."
Yeah. What about
Or
Y2K?
or oops, oops. It's like I read it wrong, guys. I don't know why, what was coming through. Maybe it was my own shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, they just go on to the next proclamation, the next prophecy. And for what purpose?
Yeah.
Consumerism, attention, egoism.
Well, fear. Putting the fear into people so that they are controllable.
And
And
if they're putting that in us, what a beautiful mirror. Where is it that I'm holding that fear? Where is it that I'm needing that attention? Where is it that I'm trying to get something that they're feeding into themselves that I don't know that I'm capable of bringing into me? And this is why it's so important to put ourselves in an environment that really allows us to tune in into the essence, the vibrational frequency of the foundations that we really are. And because when we get from there, the discernment doesn't come this thing that we fight for. It's just knowing that something's either harmonic or it's not.
you
And this is,
feel it. You got that little gut feeling. You feel it, and
yeah.
and we ignore it. I'll walk into a healer sometimes. This was before I used to. And I was like, I'm sick to my stomach, but I'm going to go through with it anyway because I made an appointment. I feel bad for them. And I mean, I should have just said, here's my money. I'm leaving because I ended up with insomnia for 2 weeks. And it was a horrible healing crisis. I took on a bunch of their problems and because I'm empathetic. And so I'm
Mhm.
learning to, be able to clear that. But because when you're empathetic, sometimes it's hard. I want to transmute that for them and I can't. And it's their
Mhm.
journey and I don't try to change people anymore. I'm like, it's their journey. They got to process through that. That's what they came here for. But I take it on and I'm a problem solver. My friends call me a people pleasing problem solver. So PPPS.
People pleasing paupers. It's like that song about the purple people eating thing.
Yeah. The purple
Um,
people eater. I love that.
same thing. But that's part of our initiation also through growth, through the immaturity of empathy, because there is a portal that we're accessing in intelligence because again, when we feel so much, we want to fix it. But then we finally get to the place like, oh, no, it's not for me to fix, but I can be aware. And through my vibrational field, I can hold the space of healing, but I can't do it for somebody else. So the evolution through our empathic rise is it's tremendous what's coming through. And again, to be able to harmonize our etheric body with our physical body and to get in this place of homeostasis, again, what we can receive from there and the speed in which we can get to that place of freeing ourselves from the pain body and the mental anguish. It's the technology is so advanced that we're getting there so much more quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And my recovering Catholic guilt's coming up because I'm seeing hundreds of questions in the chat and I'm like, we can't get to them. So I just keep seeing them scrolling through.
This
So
is this
I
is
gotta
great.
process the guilt.
Right. Oh, please receive, receive, receive. Open to receive. Y'all, the special offer again with the frequencies, with our harmonic tones are on there. Chris just put the link for the special offer in the chat box. It's $97 for this special offer. There's a two payment option on it if that helps you dive further in. If you want to recommend this work to other people, as some of y'all have written, send them back to the replay. You can always look up Gail, but I would start with a special offer. That's why we even have these special offers here so that you can dip your toe in even though it's more than a toe dip, but at the price, it's a toe dip price wise compared to what you would normally go to. And you really get to experience the benefits of what's there. And if you want to go deeper, do a combination, do a remote session. You can find out if there's an egg in where you live or do something remote with Gail, but you'll find it. But again, get into the tracks. Again, I highly recommend them and take them in order. And again, it's the Harmonic Egg Wellness Tracks. And it's awakening the root of healing. for you, and it's been wonderful. Gail, what are you excited about?
Oh my gosh. What I'm excited about is creating the new music. I believe that we can replenish our minerals, we can replenish vitamins, we can replenish so many different things in our body without ingesting things anymore. I think we can replenish it through the tones of music, through the colors that we surround ourselves with. So that's where I'm diving deeper into now is how do we do that? And I'm diving deeper into helping people to be more kind, you know? So my license plate now says be kind. And so everybody that's following me, they're going to see this note, you know, I want a subliminal messaging of all these people, be kind. And I think that we need to take back our power. We need to support each other and we need to not have judgment. We need to get rid of the limiting beliefs and we need to expand who we are. My one friend told me, what if we have to unlearn everything that we learned because it's all wrong?
Mm,
So I'm excited that every day I get to unlearn things and relearn it, but maybe only to unlearn it again in a week. I don't know. Excuse me. So I
I
get
think
really, really
that,
excited
yeah.
about living a whole new life every day. You know, my every day of my life is never boring. It's
Mm,
exciting, it's challenging, and there's always a trigger that I get to go back and figure out how to bring that forward, how to grow a little bit more as a spiritual being, how to grow a little bit more um, as a human being, and how to learn some lessons um,
mm.
from my past. So the more I want to do more research. It's been really hard. It seems like the world is going so fast. And look at we just lost Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan in the last few days. Like it seems like,
And Theo from the Huxtables.
oh, really? I didn't hear that one.
Yes.
There's three.
Cosby Show. Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they're young. I mean, it's 76, 71, and I don't know how old Theo was. But
54. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm 55. So it's crazy. So we got to stay in our lane. We got to start figuring out how to support ourselves, how to love ourselves, how to take care of ourselves. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then we're not good for anybody.
Hmm.
And so I get excited about being able to study and educate and inspire and sell everybody hope.
Mm.
It's free too. I'm
I
selling you
love
free
that.
hope.
Selling hope. You know, that's what Revlon did when he sold lipstick. He asked everybody, he asked Madison Avenue, what do you think that I'm selling?
Yeah.
Beauty, sexiness is like, I'm selling hope when he's selling lipstick. Isn't that amazing? And it's true. When you inspire that in someone,
Yeah.
so beautiful. I love
People
that you nailed on that. Yeah.
people lose hope. They
Hmm.
absolutely lose hope. And I want to sell them hope and inspire them. And I want to say, you know what? If I can do it, anybody can do it because I'm not special. I mean, we're all special, but I'm not somebody that, you know, I didn't go to an Ivy League school. I went to school for 13 years trying to get an education. And I finally realized it's a piece of paper. I just need to buy it and get the hell out. And that's what I did. I'm like, let me just, where do I sign to get the piece of paper to say I did this PhD and I'm out? Wasn't an Ivy League school. I went to school while I was working because I had to pay for college myself. And you know, it's a sad story playing the violin kind of a thing. We can all do it.
Mm.
There's not one of us out there that can't accomplish what I've accomplished, what you've accomplished. It's about focus and it's
Hmm.
about believing in yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. I do want to answer this for Paula before we end, and y'all, we're going to run the replay for the rest of the week and through the weekend, so you'll be able to access the replays. Um, and of course, the special offer, the links in the chat box, and the buttons are underneath the video on the live and the replay pages. So check out the special offer there. Paula's asking, she says she may have missed this, but what's the difference between the package of music and the actual harmonic egg?
Well, the egg is something you go into, where the package of music is something you can listen to in the privacy of your own home. And I would say if you're going to listen to the music, don't be driving because it could put you to sleep. It could be because it's very instrumental, it's very calming, it's very peaceful. But don't be on your computer. Really, really embody it. Really sit with it. Really respect it. Really honor it. Maybe take a walk in nature and put your headphones in or just meditate and just lay in silence and listen to it. There's so many different ways to experience it, but not when you're at work or in a stressful situation or on your computer. So just really try to respect it and really tune into your body. You'll feel different sensations. You'll feel different tingling. You might even have some tears because it's going to bring up emotional trauma at the cellular level. But the difference is you're not inside the harmonic egg. You're listening to it outside the egg in the privacy of your own home or space.
Beautiful. I love the the calling to presence. The calling to presence. And think of it this way, y'all, to motivate yourself. If I were to give you $5,000 to sit still for 1 hour and be quiet, would you do it? And this is worth so much more than that $5,000. You'd do it for the 5K. And then what would you spend that money on? But if you invest that time and that presence and to be in harmonic and watch that which you know is going to really enrich in your life, enrich your life, um, the payoff of that is huge. And we have our priorities skewed lots of different times. So let's motivate ourselves. Hey, yeah, I'm willing to do this because the payoff is exponential, exponential. So again, I'm glad that you brought up and it's something that I get to ask myself also, wait, if someone were to give me this amount of money for this, would I do it? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. So let me be that committed to something that's even greater than that.
Yeah, and I see it. How do we know what organ our body is needing in these healing frequencies? So sometimes you always get what you need, what not what you want. I've
Mm.
had people that have had a chronic cough and that's what they came in for, but they've had back pain and it worked on the back pain first. And they're like, "Dang it, Gail, I came in here for my cough and now I don't have back pain anymore." Sorry?
You're welcome.
Yeah, right. The body will work on what is the most needed at the moment. So just
Mhm.
trust your body. I had a doctor come in one time and he said, Gail, it was really strange because when I work on the chakras, I go from root to crown because I don't know. And so he said, but when I was in the egg, it went to the throat, then the heart, back to the
Mm.
throat, up to the third eye, back to the heart, down to the root, up to the crown. He said it was crazy because as one healed and came into balance, another one went out of balance. And so it was trying to figure out how to bring that balance
Mhm.
completely perfect, but it wasn't from root to crown.
Yeah.
It was the differences. And so it's really crazy how your body knows exactly what to do if we just allow it.
Our body wants to love us in its perfection,
Yes.
guide us in that. Gail, this has been amazing. Thank you so
All right.
much.
It was
Thank
really
you
fun.
for that beautiful brain that put all this together so that we can benefit from it, and
It's
for having the guts to build it and put it out there and look, you following your wiring, your unique coding. Look, it's in all these different places, and so many people are benefiting from it, and it's alivened you, and you feel on purpose, and no Ivy League diploma could have given you that. That's your own unique calling that you're awakened to. So,
there's
congratulations.
a Jana Stanfield song that really influenced me when I was in my 20s.
Hmm.
And it's what would you do today if you were brave?
Hmm. Good song. Good
Yes.
song. Amazing. Gail, thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you on the call. I'm looking forward to reporting from my egg session in Shasta, but I'm going to amplify it with the music before I go. So this is going to be awesome. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody being on the call. I look forward to seeing y'all on our next live. And in the meantime, I bow to each and every one of you listening on the live, listening on the replay, watching on YouTube. Bow to you and namaste. Blessings, everybody.